Welcome to Farmall. My name's Tracy. Today we bought another tractor, Roger Howe Auction from Aumann Auctions up here in Iowa. And as you've seen, they're pushing the tractor up right now. I thought he was coming for you, Ashton.
We can go back this way and go in.
Let's check them out.
Don't expect anything fancy.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I like LPs too. There's a Super MTA that I overhauled and then converted over to LP. Dang, they run nice. They're clean and what have you, and it just. I haven't got it all done yet. This is my makeshift. I needed a new gauge, and I finally got one for this. And a lot of times in these, I don't have a choke on it, but it takes just a minute for that gas to run down to that evaporator, and it should take right off. Oh, I guess you gotta turn the key on. That'd make a difference. Yeah, rings and bearings, and did the head and got a new LP manifold. Then I put all the rest of it on, and the evaporator, I had it all apart and cleaned it all to make sure it would work, because that's an important part of them. The carburetor is nothing, but this evaporator gets opened up so it gets gas through this vacuum line. So you got to turn it to pull the vacuum open, to pull the diaphragm open to let it have gas. Follow that path right back there to that green door. That's the last one, last room on the place. But there's a little bit of everything in here. There's a 130 back in the corner, and then there's a 140 high crop, a BN, 300 LP, a Super 54 Super H, Super MTA back in the corner, and H on the other side. 650 gas, not many of them around. And oh, there's a no. Yeah, that didn't come from Columbia, it come from down by Springfield. There's an H, the second tractor back there, there's a 39H back there, come from down by Springfield, that all it did was pull a float in the parade. And let's see, that 140 back there came from down south of St. Louis. What's the feed yard down that way, I think.
Tell me about your 1206.
That came from Minnesota. I was in the hospital getting a pacemaker in, and my buddy called me and he says, we need to go to Minnesota and get a couple of tractors. I said, oh, we do? Well, I'm not going to get there now. So anyway, he went out and bought them, and there was this one and another Wheatland that was a stock Wheatland. And he said you could eat off the floor where they were parked, and this guy that had them had I think 13 or 14 IH truck dealerships, big trucks. So he said, I got guys that can do everything, you know. And That was one that he said, we load 7 tractors on a weekend and go to a tractor pull. And this one here, he said this whole table here was trophies that this 1206 got. So it's
Wow.
not quite by itself, you know. It's, I mean, when you pull it back, it smokes and away you go. These are the 1326s. And I got this little tractor out of Nebraska or Oklahoma, I forget which. Anyway, I saw one, it was a 6. And I called the guy and he said, well, it's too nice to trash. And I said, yeah. So I have a truck out that way probably and we'll pick it up. He called me back, he said, I got a neighbor that's got one almost like it and he wants to sell. I said, all right, what's he want? He said, I think $400. So I said, well, put it on the truck. So it's been sitting here for, God, 4, 5, 6 years. And I was thinking, you know, it's a cute little booger and I think I should get it ready for Mount Pleasant. So, cause it's an OS4, it's an Orchard, but it's not the complete, it's a special, Orchard special. The regular Orchard had all that and the crosshair. Well, this has got the perforated hood, and it's got the cover on the gas tank here, and it's got the little hood there for the air cleaner, and then it's got the exhaust. So this is, I don't think this tractor's done much because this thing is almost like new yet. If that comes from the factory that way, yeah. This is a 100 high crop, 230. Super MTA diesel, Super C, and I built this tractor from a bare block. It was a rusty block that had been cooked out. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just, they rust after you clean them, you know. So I put the motor together and then built the tractor from there, and put the Keystone turbo on it. It's out of gas. I wish I should have got some gas. He just loved the way I hear it run. But there's a place in Pennsylvania that makes those turbos, or puts them together, I should say. And all it is you take your manifold off and bolt it on, bolt your carburetor on like it always did, and you got to have a oil galley coming up on the other side for oil pressure. And then you got to have a back end return with the oil from the turbo. And boy, he told me 100 times. He said, "Do not start that tractor until you see oil coming down that clear tube, or your turbo will be trash." This is kind of the museum end of it here. I got toys and playthings and whatever in here, and so
So did you have a museum open to the public at one time?
I'm just here. They're welcome to come anytime. That guy over at Avoca that died, that had that big museum.
Right.
I stopped there once. We was going out to Nebraska to judge a horse show, and we stopped. And I was telling him about it. And he said, "Do you think you're going to make money with the museum?" And I said, "No, I don't even worry about that." He said, "Well, don't worry about that because that won't work." And so, anyway, I didn't ever start that way to start with, so I just did it for fun. I tried to grab up every pedal tractor that ever came out, and I don't know, well, I got 2 at home yet to put together, but I think I got most of them. Don't go too far back, that's the thing. I mean, well, 20 years ago I started grabbing them up or something like that. So
That 5 millionth is pretty cool.
yeah, that was a custom job. I got that from a guy in Mason City, up way up north here. And yeah, he did a nice job on that one. There's a place in Madison, South Dakota, that has all of the decals, tires, cranks, whatever set, you know, the pedals, whatever you want for a pedal tractor. He's got those, or she does most of it. They got all the parts that you ever want to get for a pedal tractor if you want to restore one. And, not the only one I don't have got is that Ford back there. I got an oddball Ford, and well, no, there's one in here. I couldn't pass it down; it was too cheap, so I just went ahead and grabbed it up. This building ended up right here when I got this, and they had a window here and a window over there, and it was the front of it here was really crappy, and so I wanted to do something with it, and I ended up adding on. And then it wasn't but half hour later it was full. So anyway, it turned out a little nicer, and I got that door there, and I got the window here, and then the front door, and right in the center right over there is where the old door used to be to come in the place. They'd drive up right here and then go in the door there, and then they moved it over to that side. And so that's how this got to be on here.
So you just sold, what did you say,
73.
73.
Yeah.
And you think you got about 100 left?
Yeah, I counted it the other day. I got 100 or a little more left. And I got a friend down south of here, about 20-25 miles. A good old farmer, and one day he come driving in, and he said, "Here, I saved this out of the iron pile for you." It was at 560.
Wow.
And that baby had been rode. Different steering wheel.
Yeah.
They crashed the front end in, and now that would be an old one. That would be one of the first 560s back in the 60s. And that's an original of the boys, probably 60, 55, 60, 70, somewhere in there right now, that rode that thing when it was new. He took pretty good care of that one. So that's kind of the upper end here.